Grab your smokes and grab your coats. It's a Sarah Beth Tyra show. I know we're working on it. I don't. That's not gonna be it at all. Is one of them mine?
Yes, this one.
May I? I just needed something to get this taste out of my mouth. My mouth is dry, and when your mouth gets dry, it's kind of like when you eat Lucky Charms and then fall back asleep, and you're like, you can't tell me you've never had that experience. Oh, that's sweet. I accidentally made a bread pudding today that put me and Sean both into a sugar coma. He ate a little bowl of it, and he's like, sleep on the couch. And I had like a little bowl of it, and then I laid out here on the cot and fell asleep for like 4 hours.
Guess what I'm having for dessert? Some of that with ice cream.
Oh, I have some syrup to go on top of it too.
I'll sleep for days.
We don't have to do nothing tomorrow. I already watered and fed the chickens. They're well accounted for. Happy 420, friends. How are you? Seeing who's joined us and what's going on, where you're watching from, and la la la. I get tickled because I never know how many people are on the porch at what time. Like, I take smoke breaks at weird times. Like, I had to run to the gas station, and I had to run to... Oh, I'm so excited. There's a gas station like 20 miles from here that sells my L8s. And I don't have to drive all the way home to get them. So, you know, there's that. I know people are, like, getting their kids settled down. It's a Monday night. And I know you're going to ask me about this jacket, because who wouldn't? Okay, get really excited. Back in 2001, oh my Lord. Yeah. In 2001, I was dating a guy that his dad worked with my dad, and they just thought it was a match made in heaven. And it wasn't. But he was nice enough, you know, and he had proposed like really early on into the relationship. But before that happened, no, was it after that? Is that same weekend? Sure as hell was. Okay, so he had proposed 1st February. I was 17. Yep. And along with my engagement ring, which was a quarter carat with a 4-prong in yellow gold, which was so not me. Ooh. Anyway, Sarah. But he proposed with a bread tie first, which I thought was tacky. So he bought me this jacket. Went all the way to the casino in Indianapolis to get it. That's like a 4-hour trip. Anyway, but it's an authentic Dale Jr. Budweiser pit crew jacket from 2001. And I remember he was wearing his Good Wrench Dale Earnhardt jacket, the black one. And I had on this one, and we was watching the Daytona 500 in February. And then Dale hit the wall, and then Dale died. And I looked at him and I said, we have to break up. He said, why? I said, because little E's going to need me. So I had it in my head that I was going to go to Morrisville, North Carolina and console Dale Jr. because I couldn't get to England when Di died because I didn't get my passport in time. And William needed me then, too, and he ended up marrying that damn cake. But anyway, I did better in the long run. I still have royalty. He's got blonde hair, blue eyes, and he don't have them ears. Oh, bless it. Anyway, so... That tells me something about myself that I didn't even realize till now. Okay, my first husband was brown hair and brown eyes. I've always dated brown hair, brown eyes. It's always been my thing. But I just look back and I'm like, oh shit. Dale Jr., Prince William, you. Blonde hair, blue eyes, addicted to speed, chasing thrills, a little bit of ADD, got royalty. Like that, I married a Ken doll. I just realized that I married a Ken doll. Well, there you go. That's hilarious. I just realized that about myself. Like, you really were you're kind of the best of both worlds. You're much taller than Dale Jr., thank God. He's only like 5. He's a little tiny thing.
I guess you'd have to be fitting them race clothes.
He's a little tiny thing. He's like them little horse jockeys. They gotta be little tiny things. We don't have a lot of people on the porch tonight, but, you know, what can you do? I don't know what's going on in the world today. I did watch a thing where Trump said that they have to the end of the week in Iran to get their shit together or no more Mr. Nice Guy. And I'm like, is this like when my dad hits you in the mouth and goes, that's one? And you're like, What's two? Shit, don't get to three. No, 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 no. I feel like that Trump is very much like a quirky kind of dad. He's like, then told you once. Don't make us tell you twice. You know what happens if we come back twice? I have to come back in there one more time. I have to turn this car around. Beat you with my flip-flop. Anyway, Hellur twice in one day. Yes. I went to the races. I went to Bristol when I was, hang on a minute. Give me a second. That was the year that Dad got tickets. Hold up. Shut up. Okay. That would have been 1999. Yes. Yes. That was the year I went with Brandon Sarno to the Esther County High School prom, and I wore a Jessica McClintock red Miss Kitty dress. Okay. I have an eidetic memory. Shut up. So,
You need to explain what that is.
that means that I don't have a photographic memory. I can just remember key details, moments, figures, numbers, song lyrics. But it's almost like a touch of autism. I have autism. Yep. So anyway, we were in Bristol, Tennessee at the Bristol, what is that, Bristol 500, Bristol 200?
The Bristol Speedway.
Well, I know where it's at. It's a Bristol Motor Speedway.
Oh, I know.
I just meant like how many miles was it? It's the Food City 500. That's what it was, the Food City 500. Because they rode that great big huge grocery cart round and round the racetrack at the beginning. Anyway,
Do I look like the kind of person who could sit and watch cars go the same direction for hours upon?
what does a pit crew chief really do? Coming up on left turn, another left turn. Straighten her out. Here comes a left turn. Did you see that dude last week that just climbed the wall? And I was like, that's a whole Hank Williams song.
I bet he was going left.
Well, of course he was. Duh. You have to race counterclockwise. Them's the rules.
On the left-hand wall.
That's the way the tornadoes hit. That's the way that toilets flush. That's the way that race cars run. Counterclockwise. That's how you pass food around the table in the South. Counterclockwise. Pay attention. Pay attention. Anyway. So, we were in Bristol. Back to the story. Me, Mom, Dad, and Dylan. And we went to Bristol, and I was wearing a Tommy Hilfiger red one-piece bathing suit that I had got way too expensive at the Tanger outlets in Pigeon Forge with my granny and papa over Christmas. And I thought, well, I will get a head start on my tanning for the prom. Because I was a sophomore going with a junior, and I was pretty excited about that, and I wanted to be nice and fluffy. And I also put a lot of sun in my hair, so my skin and my hair was about the same color. Just about. And it was bad. It was so bad. No one had told me about toner. I think they wanted me to learn my lesson, even though my granny was a beautician. She's like, she's going to learn. She actually scrubbed my head with bleach one time when I dyed my hair. It was terrible. I did a lot of experimenting with my hair color, and I don't even know. This, I think, is my real color. It's starting to get gray. So I fell asleep in the middle of the Food City 500 there at the Bristol Motor Speedway in the Valley of Thunder. And there I just sat and crisped to a 2nd-degree sunburn. And I was still as red as my prom dress 2 months later when we went to prom. So, anyway, it was hilarious. That's a long time ago. So that was the last time I was at a NASCAR race. I got real bad sunburn and I fell asleep. You don't even go for the wrecks. Everybody knows that. But to think that I watched one of Dale's like last races, like that's kind of crazy to think about now that I'm older. 2001 was a very traumatic year. Started out bad, ended bad. I mean, you think about it. 2001, Dale Earnhardt died. They started the year off just on a bad sour note in Daytona. And let's see what else. We all graduated high school and didn't know what the hell was going on with our lives. And then September was 9/11. And it was just like, this was the weirdest year for just like big, crazy shit to happen. It started out your freshman year of college with kind of a big old like, holy crap, wake up call. You're like, oh, so this is real life. Damn. I was not ready for any of this. But it was a big year to turn 18. That was like, I feel like no one has wrote that Bob Dylan, Woody Guthrie anthem for us yet. They're like, maybe that's my job. Like, take me back. I remember Y2K. I was there. Anyway, You got burnt like that fishing. Listen, there ain't nothing that you can do but just lay in a bathtub of vinegar and then you smell like an Easter egg for 2 or 3 days. But that's the only thing that takes that sting out unless you have an aloe plant as tall as a toddler. As far as I know. Somebody tried to do them paper bags soaked in vinegar and I was like, what are we doing? Paper mache? Like, just put me in a bathtub with some vinegar in it and it draws that sting out. But Lord, you smell like a pickle. You do. You're squeaky clean when you come out, though. Anyway. So what did y'all get into today? What is today? Monday? Monday. I have to think. I made the best homemade chicken Alfredo in the whole wide world last night, and it is in a casserole dish. Nope, line. Yes, casserole dish. Yes, it's in a casserole dish. I think my husband has just put it back in the oven to reheat. And I accidentally made a bread pudding that put us both in a sugar coma today. Did not mean to. Did not mean to. It didn't even have that much sugar in it. It was just super sweet. It had caramel sauce on it, maple syrup, with a little bit of powdered sugar. Some people call it French toast casserole, but us in the South call it bread pudding. And I had a big loaf of bread that went stale. So I thought, well, I'm not going to waste this. You can either make croutons or you can make bread pudding. And I was in the mood for bread pudding. And normally I would make some kind of cream cheese sauce to go with it. And if back when we drank, I would have made a bourbon sauce, but we don't do that anymore. And I thought about putting pecans in it like we used to when I worked at Famous Days, but I thought, nah, that makes it more of a praline sauce, and I really don't want that on my bread pudding with that little bit of egg in it. You have to have more of a custard base to make that work and set up, or else the ice cream just kind of dissolves on top. Anyway, it's a whole thing. It's in my cookbook. Wake and bake to contemplate. Hello, Deborah. How in the world are you? Rhonda, I get it. Are you like me? Are you one of the children of the 90s and early 2000s who had to tan and then remembered somewhere in about the last 4 minutes that you better sit up on the edge of the bed or else you're going to get them half moons under your ass? There's like tanning bed aerobics. Like we had to like flip and turn like a rotisserie chicken or else you just look splotchety. And I will never forget to this day, there was a girl, and I won't name her name because it's going to make her feelings get hurt. Because I mean, even though she's in her she's in her 40s. She'd probably be like, don't tell that. She fell asleep in the tanning bed every time like this. So she had these rings around her neck, and I'm like, you look like a tree. That was back when there was just orange self-tanner, and you had to go to Suntan City and get the Mystic Tan, which did not work out very well. I was so very, very, very artificially tan when I graduated college that I was darker than a few of the girls that were from India. And my mother had a hard time finding me in my Transylvania graduate picture. I was like, I'm right there. She's like, why are you so tan? I was like, I work at Suntan City. Anyway, that's really funny. Hellur. Oh, yes, the same thing happened to me. Like, tell me you get it. Like, there was all kinds of stuff. We had to. Did anybody else do the little Playboy sticker? Like the little bunnies, like we were somebody? Like, who's gonna say that? Tramp. It's from my boyfriend. And I loved all the girls in high school who wore Grateful Dead t-shirts and like name one Grateful Dead song. One. Just one. Never could. Never could. Like, they just like the tie-dye shirts. They're like, we're deadheads. I'm like, you're not. You got those out of your parents' closet and they're still smoking pot and using patchouli as perfume. It's fine, but don't lie about being a fan. Is that how they feel when we see our kids today with these 90s country t-shirts and these Nirvana t-shirts? I'm like, can you name one of them songs? Can you name one of them songs? Anyway. Lemon juice, Deborah. Oh, lemon juice and Sunnian. Orange hair all summer long. It's terrible. I put my bookshelf out here with all my Bibles on it so that I'd be ready for Bible study this week and have a quick reference. Well, I came out here and I was like, that's not the way I arranged those. So I was like, Sean, did you rearrange my Bibles? He goes, yeah. And I was like, oh. He said, I should have said no. I was like, wait a minute. What is going on? WD-40 is great for burns. I did not know that. Somebody better Google that. Just make sure. Anyway, but I got cold because it feels more like fall than it does spring, and we're supposed to get some kind of frost tonight, but if it don't get below 35 degrees, I ain't going to get out there with the bed sheet and cover up all them lilacs and rose bushes because I frankly don't have the energy and I don't want to. Survival of the fittest. Y'all do your best. It's like when I put stuff in the dishwasher that says not dishwasher safe. I'll put it on the top rack. I'm like, just try your best. It'll be all right. A Tervis tumbler, a lifetime guaranteed dishwasher safe hot or cold Tervis tumbler. You remember this shit? Y'all keep your Stanley cups. We had Tervis, and we could get whatever we wanted on them because they were customized. And you could go to the Tervis store in Pigeon Forge in the Village. No, line Sarah Beth Gatlinburg in the Village, and they had a whole store with the straws and the lids and the handles. So anyway, mine warped. My L8 one warped, and now it's got a big old fat lip on it. I'm like, hang on, Tervis. I thought that these were lifetime guaranteed, just like Tupperware, and I think I might need to send this back. But then I'd be without my Tervis tumbler, and I drink out of it every morning. I just drink on the other side, and it's got this big fat lip on it, like somebody's got punched in the mouth in a bar fight. Anyway, as we were saying, I don't know what in the world's going on in the world except that that one girl that stole from FEMA, they're trying to kill her, kick her out of Congress. There, Beth. Kick her out of Congress. She stole like $5 million from FEMA. I think that maybe should come with some jail time, but that's just me. The Florida SNAP benefits went into effect today. Was it today? That new rule, like, okay, now you can't get pop on any of it, apparently. But now they're enforcing in Florida that you can't get soda or energy drinks or candy or shelf-stable ready-made desserts. I'm guessing that means like Little Debbie's and fudge rounds and shit like that. So I was like, I didn't think they could get that anyway. So anyway, I don't know if the rest of the states are going to follow suit, but just a heads up if you're buying fudge rounds and Hershey bars, those days are probably numbered. Just letting you know. Anyway, so my citronella plant has already doubled in size. I'm going to have to take a start off of it and put it in another pot. I'm telling you, my things are growing quickly around here. I don't know if it's all the sunshine or it's because I'm just spending way too much on the water bill. I'm not home very often to garden, so that's why I plant things like perennials and rose bushes, because I'm like, I really don't have to worry about them once I put them in the ground. Just water them every now and again. So, at least I didn't know that. No sugar stuff. See, like, I don't know what the state things are. I don't know. So, but I do know that some of my fans are on the assistance, and I don't want them to get to the checkout line and be like, oh crap. And then you're like, well, your kid's sitting there crying and you can't get them this box of donuts or whatever. But I'm just looking out for the common housewife, porch sitter, cigarette smoker. If you're like me, I like to bake. I like to get in the kitchen and bake stuff. So, like, I'm probably going to make some muffins this evening. And I know that I like to make, like, homemade cookies and stuff like that. Like, I like to be, if you ever came to my house for, whatever reason, I'd like for you to know that there's always going to be sweet tea in the fridge and there's always going to be something to eat, something to snack on. So, and it's usually on a big, huge cake platter with a big old heavy dome on top that I've had for 100,000 years, and it sits in my windowsill because it's the only place big enough to hold it because it's a marble slab. So there's that. Bag of chips seems to be going through it. I can't eat. I don't know. Again, I learned from y'all and the collective. Speaking of the collective, everybody's been asking about new t-shirts on the website, and I don't know what the new slogan should be on them because y'all quote me back to myself all the time. So I thought I'd push it out to you if you're part of the Hive, if you're part of the Sarah Beth Cherry channel, and if you're not, get on there. It's free to join. And we're going to take a vote and be like, okay, you all name the top three slogans. Like, whatever I get in the comments here, we're going to vote over there. And that's what's going to go on the new t-shirt that's going to be on the website. So I was like, I don't know. Like, I say all kinds of stuff. I don't know what y'all are quote me back. Like, somebody said, put, I'm Sarah Beth Terry and you're not. And I thought that was funny. Or do the animals and children one. Or somebody said the other day, I don't remember what it was. It's biblical. I don't know. Y'all watch it and tell me, I don't know. I say it and then Sean clips it and then I'm like, I don't rewatch it. It's like when they ask Lisa Kudrow, they're like, do you know an episode of Friends? She's like, I don't see him. Like, I didn't go back and rewatch him. And I don't do that either. Not that I'm comparing myself to a multimillionaire actress, but I get it. Like, I just kind of do it and then I move on to the next thing. So, should you send, sorry, I'm reading back to the comments. Should you send caramels to my P.O. box? Yeah, hell yeah, if you want to. I would love that. So, P.O. Box 428, Hurricane, West Virginia. I swing through there and gather my mail when I'm in town. So, thank you so much for sending me cool fan mail and the like. I've got to respond to some things too. Last time I came through town, I had some requests for some 8x10, so I've got to send those out as well. Tell you, I spend more time at the post office than I do anywhere. That ain't terrible, but I don't really like it. That's that cherry slush flavor. I have an L8, but I'm kind of saving that for later. Oh, Chris, it's like, Oh my gosh, that would be a fun one to put on the t-shirt. I forgot what we were talking about for a second. My dogs are hollering. Today is my dog Winona's birthday. She is 4 years old today. Happy birthday to Winona. She got to have a little birthday treat earlier. Dog safe and friendly because like I said, I like to bake. So she had some peanut butter and she had some fried eggs for breakfast. So she has had a good day. And I'll let her just nap it off. She loves, there's this one pillow on her couch, and it doesn't matter where that pillow is. She will find it and drag it to wherever she is, and she'll, lay on it like a toddler. And I'm like, that's Winona's pillow. Speaking of the birthday girl. Hi, baby girl. She's talking about her favorite pillow that she likes to lay on the couch all the time. Like, that's her pillow.
Oh, yes.
Oh, she gets upset. Get that groundhog. Stupid. She has to announce that she's here. I have arrived. I'm in the backyard now.
She's 4 today, so.
4 years old on 420. I didn't even realize that when I got her that was her birthday. That's so funny. I adopted her the 22nd day of June. Yep. And, I found her at a farm sale, and I said, how old's these puppies? He said, they're 8 weeks old. He said, they was born on the 20th day of April. And I was like, all right. She's a little bit tiny thing. Oh, I loved her. There was her and a red one. And they were Lab Shep mixes. So, Shepherdors, I think is what they're called. German Shepherd, Labrador mixes. And then a year ago, we was driving down the road with our neighbors doing some yard selling. That's a good day for yard selling. Remember that day. And this man was on the side of the road that said free labs. And I was like, well, Winona could use a buddy. And it turned out that it was part lab, part Pyrenees. And so that dog is huge. Tom T and Winona are about the same size now. And Winona was 4 and Tom's 1. Anyway. See, Rhonda, that's funny. I am not sitting up straight since I moved this chair around. I need to put a different cushion in it. I feel like I'm just like a turtle. Like, I need to sit up straight. I'm so tickled at all these sponsors. Okay, let's see. NASCAR, AC Delco, Dale Jr., Gatorade, Oreo. I can get behind that. Remington Guns and Ammo. Oh, Dylan Hart. Makes me sad. Snap-on tools. I don't know what else is on here. Budweiser. Yeah. But this is an OG pit crew jacket, man. It's got it on the back and everything. And it still zips. 25 years. Okay, so that means I was this fat in high school, too. So they won't be that surprised at my 25th class reunion. They'll be like, yeah, that's her. She looks the same. She's just got some laugh lines and bags under her eyes and a little bit of jaws. But I think that's more inflammation because my sinuses have been acting up. I think if I get that little brush thing out that I bought from TikTok, it probably slim that out. Listen, everybody's doing that Pepcid and Zyrtec thing trying to get rid of inflammation. That only works for a specific syndrome and diagnosis. Please don't do that. It even says on the box, don't use this long term. I'm like, that's not going to be good for you. Like, just do a little studying first. Google it. What you think about PPP puffing and prayers on the porch? Well, that's cute. I was thinking about, I'm so excited. I've got all these peacock feathers from a friend of mine. So if you need a hat, I'm excited because I finally got them all squared out and cleaned and dried and disinfected. That was such a fun lesson. I remember my friend came over to the house and he was like, hey, I work with feathers all the time and you know, this is how you clean them and this is how you work them. I was like, that's really, really cool. So it was nice to have that neighbor. He was very helpful. And I want to thank my friends on the reservations out in Montana and in Wyoming and in North Carolina who send me feathers from the Cherokee Nation and from the, I don't want to misspeak. But we had a chance to visit a reservation this past summer and they blessed me with a bunch of feathers. It was really nice. But I don't use those on my hats. I just have those for my own keeping. I use my turkey feathers and my peacock feathers, and when my friends that work at the zoo send me the sheds, they'll send me like really cool like parrot feathers and stuff. So, anywho, love the racing jacket. I mean, can you stand it? Is that not hilarious? Like, I can't believe I found it. I was so cold, and I was like, I need a jacket. I had to put on my woolly pants because you know we're fixing to go into locust winter. That's what this is locust winter. I live by the almanac and the Bible. Two very good books that don't steer you wrong. They're stopping making the almanac, so it upsets me. But anyway, there's 5 little winters in the springtime. There is redbud winter, which is when you see all the Bradford pears and the redbuds bloom. And then there is dogwood winter, which is usually around Easter time, and that's when the dogwoods bloom. And then we're going into locust winter right now, which is when the locust trees will bloom. And then we'll have blackberry winter coming up usually like last weekend of April, first week of May, somewhere around in there. Sometimes it holds off to like the middle of May. It just depends. I've seen it frost as late as Mother's Day, so you just kind of watch for that. But that's blackberry winter. And they all start budding out. And then we'll have Lindsay Woolsey, which is usually the cold snap right before Memorial Day. And that's why you keep your Lindsay Woolsey pants out, your woolen pants and stuff, because that's the last time you have to wear. See, Molly, get it. You have a huge collection of feathers. I get it. I love it. So, I'm trying to finish this can because I don't like to waste, you know? Ugh. I mean, it's okay, but it's a little sweet for me. So. Oh, Lisa, the Big Dogs collection. I remember that. Where were those at? Goodies, and as soon as that Kmart had them for a little while. Was that, everybody had those in middle school and high school, and it was like all over the back. Like you're like bringing back like a flashback. Oh, that's really funny. Y'all remember Goodies? What was it with us with the Flintstones? Do you remember this? Like, it was like, okay, wait a minute. Let me think I'm 42, so it was like 5th grade year. Like, was that when the Flintstones came back out? With John Goodman? Anyway, but, like, there was like a whole, like, merch line, and you had to have the silk boxers that were Flintstones, and you had to have the t-shirt that had the Flintstones on it. And that was like the slumber party like uniform for like the summer. Like you had to have that. Like everybody had either the Disney boxers and the Disney t-shirts from the Disney store, or you had the Flintstones. It was like you had to pick a team. It was like way before Hogwarts, you know. And I don't know why we like them damn jelly Esprit sandals. Why in God's earth did we think that bringing back jelly shoes that were also part Adidas slide was a good idea? That was not a good idea. Blisters. Oh my gosh, to this day I still have marks across the tops of my feet from them damn jelly slides. We were like, we have to have them. There's like the Esprit and the Adidas ones. And like the Esprit did like a whole like sunflower line, and we all had to have the sunflower t-shirts. It was a whole thing. They just spoon-fed us propaganda and made us marketing as crazy as hell. Like, it was just, I thought about that as I got older. I'm like, get it. Oh. Winona and Tom have something.
They got it. Winona's got it in her mouth. It's a mole.
Teach that to eat my maters. Good job, Winona. You can eat that. Happy birthday.
Now they're playing with it.
Of course.
But it's dead.
Yeah. That's funny.
Ah, dog.
I told you they was after something today.
Winona's a really good girl.
Oh, she's a fisher and a hunter.
Talking about she's pulled a fish right
Oh,
out of
I
the
was seeing
river.
her. Okay, we were at the river.
ate it.
We were at Mud River, and she's just standing perfectly still over the water, and her ears were perked all the way up, and she had that burr up like German Shepherds get. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And she was just standing perfectly still, and all of a sudden I see her entire head go under the water, and she came out with a fish that was this big in her mouth, and I was like, "That dog just caught a fish." She's real good at fishing. She stands in the shadows and stands right over that fish until it gets right underneath her. She's so smart. She does the same thing when she's getting moles. That youngin's got a nose like you would not believe. What's the lab in her? It's a shep in her, too. You'd think she'd knock me out, but she don't. The cats don't neither. I've been thinking about adopting a barn cat to keep the moles down, something that could live in the coop. I really want to go to the animal shelter and be like, what's your most antisocial cat? Like, I don't want to be friends with it. I don't want it to come out of the coop. I just want it to do its thing. David called me. She's like, I'm going to give you 2 kittens. I'm like, no, you're not. They will get killed by the dogs next door. Oh, somebody said that. Not to play right now. No, I don't want to do that right now. No, somebody said for the slogan. We're talking about the slogans. Cough, cough. Boys is scary. Listen, for 100 years, I thought the lyrics were, this is scary. Oh, hush, keep it down now. I thought she was saying, this is scary. And I was like, what's scary? Damn it. Is there a monster at the end of this book? Oh, good job, Nona. She caught that mole. I heard it squealing. Are those moles or nutriums? Moles. With a nose. Speaking of moles, the Supreme Court's got a leak. Supreme Court's got a leak. One of the SCOTUS's is a leak, and it's leaking shit to the New York Times. It's the 3rd time in a decade they've had a leak, and I'm like, wonder who it is. Who's the snitch? Snitches get stitches. Don't do that shit. But I'm wondering who it is. I'm like, my. Raise your arms over your head. You're going to get strangled. Did you know that Vegas is recreationally legal? Here's a fun story for you.
What's funny is that the state of Nevada
Is not.
But
just the city of Las Vegas.
Yeah.
So me and Sean, obviously, we'd been dating about a month, 3 weeks. And he's like, let's go to Vegas. I'm like, oh, this seems like a bad idea. But we established the rule, no cocaine, no hookers, no gambling. So we were fine. And we went for a wedding. My best buds got married. So we went out there and crashed their wedding. And we went to the dispensary like the moment we got off the airplane. And I bought some Eddies and we bought a couple pre-rolls, whatever. We were only there for a couple days. We're like, well, have some fun because we don't drink, So like at the time we did, but we mostly smoked and didn't drink at the time. And we got all the way to the airport getting ready to come home. And I said, why don't you open up your backpack and I'll put my purse in it so I can just take my suitcase as a carry. I don't have to pay for it. And he's like, okay. And he opened up his backpack and he went, whole bag of edibles. And I was like, we can't take those back with us. So we ate the whole bag. It's like 250 milligrams a piece. Yeah. So we hurried and got through security and got on the plane because we knew it was going to kick our ass as soon as it kicked in. And I looked over at Sean, we were getting ready to take off, and I said, okay, we're taking off. And he had my neck pillow and his neck pillow snapped together in his hood. And he's just sitting there with all them neck pillows. He said, oh, we're so high up. I said, we're not in the air yet. We're still on the tarmac. He goes, are we on the plane? And I was like, oh, my God. So then we got back to Nashville, and I had a handicap placard, thanks, Granny. And I knew where my car was. I was like, that way I know where it's at the airport. And I got back, and if you've ever been to the Nashville airport, there's only 2 parking garages, and there's only 8 parking spaces per parking garage that are handicapped. We could not find the car for like 2 hours. That's probably the first fight we ever had as a couple. And I finally, do you remember what I did? I got on my phone. I knew we took a picture when we got out of the car before we got on the airplane. And I was like, the sunset's pretty. And so I literally pinged that coordinates on my iPhone to where that picture was. And we walked to where that picture was. And then I started hitting the unlock button and I heard beep, beep, beep. Like, there's my car. And it was like the first level from the airport. We had went all the way like Labyrinth. The Babe. We should watch that tonight. I haven't seen Labyrinth in forever. Another Jim Henson fucking monster piece. That is. That's some Jim Henson shit. That's a Muppets guy. Yeah. You know what my favorite Jim Henson creation is? Muppet Christmas Carol. Can quote it every bit, including the deleted songs. How dare you? The love is gone. The love is gone. You know why that movie works so good? Because Michael Caine did not treat it like he was acting with the Muppets. He treated it like it was an actual production of Charles Dickens' classic, The Christmas Carol. And that's what made it so incredible for us kids, because they didn't pacify us and patronize us. We're like, that's the actual story. Now, Gonzo, of course, made it fun, but the rest of it was like, Michael Caine was right the hell on. Like, if you've ever read that book, it was right on. I also like Muppet Treasure Island, I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good too. But it's not as good as the Muppet Christmas Carol. Listen, does anybody else remember feature films for families that are like real popular in the 90s, early 2000s, like The Brave Little Toaster and Willie the Sparrow and Rigoletto and Split Infinity, the Buttercream Gang and the Secret of Treasure Mountain and there's another. Wait. The Boxcar Children, maybe. It wasn't the Boxcar Children. It was a movie like that, like Coming Home or something. I don't remember. But y'all remember feature films for families? Like, there was a whole, like, series of those movies. Wait. I hear the railroad crossing bell. The air's really thin tonight. I love that sound. Anyway, yes, we ordered those. And apparently you can still get them and you can watch them on YouTube. But I am so very excited because the other day I was going through my DVD collection and I found all of them. And I can't find Rigoletto. That's the only one I can't find. And that was my favorite. Oh, love that movie so much. I love these pigs. I love these pigs so much. Oh, God, if you watch that movie, you know exactly what I'm talking about. This is what I'm going to be talking about in the nursing home one day when I've gone completely crazy and I'm just drinking L8s and smoking cigarettes on the porch of the old folks' home. And I'll be like, y'all remember that show, Designing Women? They're going to be like, no, she's making it up. Homeward Bound. Thank you. That was such a good movie. Oh, The Incredible Journey. I cried. And there was part 2, Lost in, what was it? San Francisco, San Diego, San Jose. Cracks me up. Does anybody else have like fever dreams? Remember there was a news program we had to watch in 7th or 8th grade in social studies that taught us like current events, but it was like simplified for kids. And I was like, and then we had to take a test afterwards. Does anybody else remember this? Like, I'm like, why? They would roll this TV in on the car, they'd plug it in, they'd be like, this is this week's news, and we're like, okay. And then we'd have to watch it, and Leanne Harrison and, nope, I'm lying, Leanne Harrison was with me in band. Amy Horn sat behind me, and Heather Miller sat beside me, and they always talked, and I couldn't hear what they were saying on the video. So, but anyway. Designing Women is still by far my favorite TV show of all time until they got rid of Delta Burke and Dixie Carter, and I stopped watching it because I felt like they jumped the shark. It got a little wild there with, you know, that, what's her name, Duffy. Julia Duffy. I don't like her. Allison Sugarbaker. No, I quit watching it when Delta left. So it was like season 5, season 4. What an important show in the culture of what was going on in the world around them. They were so ahead of their time. They really were. I'll tell you what else I watched all the time. was Wings. Another favorite of mine when I was growing up. And Saved by the Bell. Oh my gosh. Again, watched every single episode, including the Good Morning Miss Bliss and the bullshit when they was in middle school, which didn't make no sense. And then that one girl just disappeared. Nikki just disappeared. And then Kelly Kapowski shows up. And Jesse Spano shows up. And I'm like, Lisa was here. Like, how did y'all, like, did y'all not go to the same middle school even they went to the same? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I watched all the way through when they got married at the very, very end, the Hawaii ones. I probably have seen every single episode of Saved by the Bell at least 30 times. I'm not ashamed to admit that. In my Budweiser pit crew jacket. I remember that we got the cable box in my room when I was about 9 or 10 years old. You had to push the little buttons, and I had the Disney Channel, and they played Kids Incorporated, and one of them was TBS, and you could get Saved by the Bell. And I watched Saved by the Bell religiously. They had a Saved by the Bell marathon, and me and my friend Tiffany stayed up all weekend and watched every single episode. And I did not like when that Tori joined the cast. When they got rid of Kelly and Jesse, I was like, this is weird. Why aren't they their senior year? It's weird. Anyway, Channel 1 News. Thank you, Jen. See, I need somebody to remember. I was a class of 2001. I graduated college in 2005. Same year that I went to Nashville. I can't believe it still zips. I mean, and I'm wearing like a lot of layers. I've got on a t-shirt and a sweatshirt and a pit crew jacket. Like, and it still zips. I can't get over it. It's crazy. This waistband could probably be let out a little bit and the sleeves are a little short. But, you know, for 25 years old, I'm going to bring it back. And not even ironically. I'm just going to start wearing it. I brought a fur back. I decided to be unapologetically myself. I'm not crazy. I'm just dressing for the dopamine. There's things in my closet that I'd like to wear before they dry, rot, and fall apart. I'm happy with who I am. My husband's happy with who I am. I love him. He loves me. We'll be married a year next month. Life is great. I know we get a little down in the mouth sometimes because we get stretched between feast and famine when we have like 20 bookings, then we have no bookings, and then I'm buying rose bushes when I should be buying groceries. And, you know, so is the circle of life. You roll with the punches. They're still ringing that damn train bell. What's taking them so long to cross the track? There is 4 crossings up the river, though, at the holler. You can hear them. Just sounds like wind chimes. Paul Harvey, and that's the rest of the story. I love how seamlessly Paul Harvey would go into a commercial. He would be talking about, like, and guitars have 6 strings because of this reason, blah, 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 blah. Also, people who play the guitar often drink Alani energy drinks, which has 200 milligrams of caffeine. This particular flavor is called Cherry Slush, and it comes in a red can at your local gas station. People drink that to play a guitar. I'm like, how the hell did he do that? Like, it's just seamless. Just go right into a commercial break and come right back out. And my granny would warm up the kitchen water between in those little interims. She's like, you have to learn the rhythm. I was like, apparently. Maybe that's why I talk the way I do, is because my mama listened to Paul Harvey religiously every single day right after the trading post on WIRV. 1550 AM there in Irvin. So, I love this jacket too, Jen. I can't get over it. I can't believe that I found it. I can't believe it's zipped. I can't believe that I still have it. But more importantly, I'm wearing it. I'm just bringing it back. And I'm bringing back these. My friend, and I wish I could remember her name. It'll come to me as soon as I hang up with y'all. She worked in the doctor's office underneath my studio the first couple years that I was open as the teaching studio in Louisiana. And I laughed because I had a fleece jacket that had this color like embroidery on it for the Queen Bee studio. And she said, your hands are cold all the time. You got your hands in your pockets. I said, well, yeah, but I play guitar and I smoke, so I can't have like mittens on. She said, give me this weekend. And she came back and she had made me these. So the way I could play guitar and I could smoke without my hands getting cold. So I thought that was really sweet. I wear them when I crochet too because I keep my knuckles from seizing up. I get the arthritis, and my granddad always used to say that was the worst of the Wrightus brothers. Arthur, he's bad. Oh my gosh, Jen, I'm with you on that. It was always, is it 10 p.m.? Do you know where your kids are? And I'm like, you know why they told you all? Because they forgot. They're like, Oh, that's right. We have kids. They should be home by now. They should be. Are y'all in bed? Turn off Saved by the Bell and go to bed. It is 2 o'clock in the damn morning. Oh, did you already let him in?
No, they're still out there.
Seriously, they're quiet as church mice right now.
They're probably eating them mice.
Oh, speaking of mice, did y'all remember Fievel, the American Tale? What a sad damn story to show kids. That and All Dogs Go to Heaven. What? Oh, animals to teach us life lessons was not a good idea. Dumbo, Bambi, Charlie, Fievel. Can't do mice, can't do deer, can't do elephants. Y'all really scarred me on that shit. Northern Exposure. Oh, anybody remember, was it Pikes Peak? Oh, what a creepy show. We discovered today that James Brown never really had any lyrics in any of his songs. It was just titles and scatting. Like, we listened to The Boss today. He's like, pay the cost, be the boss. Here, hit me, hit me, get that. I was like, he's not even saying, some of these aren't even words, they're just sounds. And I was like, we figured it out. That way, if he got real good and screwed up, he wouldn't be messing up the lyrics. He's just like, I'm just making noises in an E riff. Hit me. It cracks me up. Jimi Hendrix says that a lot in his songs. He's like, Foxy lady, yeah. I'm like, what? What? Like, y'all are just ad-libbing over like 90% of the lyrics. I don't know. Maybe it's the songwriter in me. I guess that's just the songwriter in me. Where the red fern grows, can't talk about it, Christy. Not gonna talk about it. I'm not gonna cry tonight. Not gonna do it. I'm too high to be that low. I'm not gonna do it. Old Yeller, oh, Land Before Time. To this day, hand on a Bible. My brother could not hear the opening piano chords of If We Hold On Together. He will tear up like a big crocodile. And I mean, it's pitiful. He wants to get the tree star tattoo, and I think the next time he comes home, I'm going to let him get one. I'm going to pay for it. Be like, let's go get it. Oh, Littlefoot makes my heart hurt. Every time. Every time. Can't do it. They traumatized us. I wasn't allowed to watch The Golden Girls growing up because Blanche was a tramp. It's my mother's exact words. She's trashy. We're not going to watch that. I was like, Suzanne's been married, and if sex was fast food, there'd be an arch over her bed. But by all means, let's not watch Blanche in her 40s. Go for it. I understand her now more than ever. I, too, married when I was 40 for the second time to the love of my life. And I fight him like a wildcat 90% of the time, and it's because my hormones are out of whack, and I know they're going to even out soon enough. But God love him, I think he's a saint. And I know that he's a paper doll. If you look at my life, like if you look at through like my collection of paper dolls and like crushes and like, oh gosh, Devin Sawa, Leonardo DiCaprio. I was a blonde hair, blue eyed, like that was like, but I always was like, no, they won't, I can't date that. I'll date brunettes. And I just didn't, blondes do have more fun apparently. Never ending story, I can't talk about it. Oh, okay, Trey, oh, I can't talk about it. Anyway, Quantum Leap, oh my gosh. Hoping that every leap would be the leap home. Love it. It's called Bacula. How brilliant was he? I mean, really. I've liked him ever since. Kids Incorporated. Nobody realizes that Mario Lopez and Stacey Ferguson and Jennifer Love Hewitt and was her name Marika was on that. Like there was a lot of like coming up stars that were on that show, and you're like Justin Timberlake, you know. And then they went to the Mickey Mouse Club. There was Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake and Ryan Gosling, and like they were all in the. I was like, we just started farming out kids and grooming them to be in the music industry back then, and they were like, hey, you know what we should always do now instead of like letting them perform on our TV show, we should make it a contest, and it'd be like a game show, and people can call in and vote on who their favorite is, and that will be the next American Idol. We started farming it out and made it a pageant. And I'm like, you missed the whole point of music. They never could see you on the radio. Anyway. Nursery rhymes. You want to talk about real nursery rhymes? Read the original shit. Read the original Hans Christian Andersen and the Grimm brothers. That is not some childhood stuff. Those are warnings. Those are not fairy tales. Those are scary tales. Like, scary as shit. And if you read like the actual, like, not Disney watered down diluted version, you're like, oh my God. Like, it's terrifying. It really is. There's a reason why they call them the Brothers Grimm. I wrote a song about it. It's called Big Bad Wolf. It's actually about me trailing this whore down that was sleeping with my boyfriend, but I equated it to the Big Bad Wolf. And I mentioned the Grimm in it. What is up with this one hair wanting to crawl in my ear like a tick? Listen, I think something's up with the ticks and it's a whole conspiracy. They're like, ticks are worse this year than ever, and the best thing is prevention. Skin so soft. Don't walk in tall grass. Check yourself as soon as you come in from being outside. You know, get your pets ready for it and get protected. I'm like, mind my words here. I feel like this is going to be the next epidemic because Bill Gates has been talking about releasing some kind of vaccine that will ward against alpha-gal, Rocky Mountain spotted fever, the spotted tick, whatever it is. Like, I really feel like this is all going to be connected within the next 6 to 8 months. So just get you some Skin So Soft and some citronella and wear them bug bands and bug spray and shit like that. Wear long pants and sleeves. Because tick bites at the ER up tenfold, and that's like not happened in a long time. So I just feel like there's something to it, and I feel like this is kind of like that whole West Nile mosquito shit that they didn't tell us about until it was too late. So, you know, just keep your head on a swivel. Don't trust everything that you see or hear. Just kind of think for yourself for a minute, you know. Just a thought. That's Carissa's C. That's what I'm talking about. Just like, you just, you know, kind of situational awareness, whatnot. So my dogs have found and killed a mole. Appropriate. I am going to get off here and go eat my supper because it is like, we've been on here for an hour now. So I hope that you've had a good day. We got together twice today, which is always fun. I was going to play the guitar and Sean brought it out here, but it's way too cold for that right now. We played enough earlier. And if you want me to play this weekend, let me know because we don't have anything on the schedule for Friday or Saturday. So I just looked at the schedule wrong and I was like, okay, well, we've got all this stuff coming up in May. I have nothing else. I was like, oh, crap. So there was a last weekend in there. It screws me up. Easter screwed me up. It screwed up my whole timeline. I was like, it's way too early this year. But anyway, that's just me. But, all right, guys. Well, I love you. I'm glad you hung out with me on the porch twice today. And if you're new here, welcome. Share me with your friends. Listen to the music. Decide what you like. If there's a logo that you think I should put on the new t-shirt, then let me know. If there's somewhere that you want us to come play, let me know. It's really easy to get a hold of me. Just get on my website or send us an email at sarahbethterrybooking@gmail.com. If you want to send fan mail, because that's been a question here lately, that address is on the website too at sarahbethterry.com, or you can just P.O. Box 428, Hurricane, West Virginia. Anyway, that's all I know from this side of the mountain. Keep your Bibles open and your powder dry and your head on a swivel because people are acting crazy this day and age. Just OPSEC, you know, just keep a weather eye out. Think for yourself. Be nice to old people, animals, and children. And be nice to your neighbor and give the rest to God. Remember, I love you and he does too. And I'm Sarah Beth Terry. You're not. Bye.